We are live again, and we are having a little bit of Discord problems, but it looks like it's improving. At least we're not all sounding like we're robots, so we're hoping our communication will come across well. Anybody who's watching can let me know if sound isn't coming across properly, and we'll try to fix it. But a lot of our problems are Discord tonight, so we'll see how it goes. Trying to get our videos up and so forth. Anybody?
Looks like it's lagging. Apple said in the game chat that it's lagging, and I'm experiencing the same thing.
In the game chat?
And not game chat, the Twitch chat.
Stream chat.
Oh.
Keeps buffering.
Yeah, mine is doing okay, but then I'm more direct, so it may be okay on my end. At least we can get up and get going while we're getting all the videos set up and everybody connected. Last week we wound up with you finally defeated Wintersplinter, and
finally,
yeah,
down that tree,
and then wound up with a whole bunch of other things attacking you, which was fun.
The branches.
And of course, that's not coming up. I'm just having all kinds of problems.
And Durek also has his personal army.
Oh dear.
I still want to say the MVPs of that were Team Fancy Pants.
Absolutely, absolutely. What you see here on the screen is now we're moving back to more theater of the mind as we're getting away from a battle. So we're able to get a little bit more use out of our minds instead of having to use that god-awfully huge map that was there. So, excuse my voice, I have terrible allergies and I am just squeaky as the dickens.
Aw.
What you've got here is a representation of about what was going on. Sylvia and Monarch were approaching the group as we ended up. Coming out of the center was Victor, and just outside the center were the two Mardukov boys, young men, not really boys. And just outside were Alexander and Vlad, who had been in battle. And next to them was Dirok, who now is facing the chieftain and his wild men group that had turned over the spear to him, his, as he says, his little wild man army. Is there anybody wants to set up before we go on with the activity of what is going to be happening?
Yes, Vlad will pull out his pack of bandages and say, "Who is injured? Come, I can help."
Durek's not paying attention. He's raising the spear.
I can't use my bandages on you anyway.
Well, he's still not paying attention. He's gonna give out a war cry and like rally the berserkers.
Oh god, he's started something again. Run.
Victor returns to quote-unquote human form and looks around at all of the largely inedible fallen and kind of grumbles to himself.
I think there's a dead berserker somewhere.
There's more than a few dead.
They are probably sort of undead.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
They were fully resurrected. These people are living now. To the best
I wouldn't.
Victor
I probably wouldn't let him touch him.
for you to respond to.
Yes,
He's just grumbling. Well, why? Yeah, you said it in your accent, which makes me think you're saying it. I see.
That's never mind.
See, after Alex would walk around, he'd spend the brief afterlude, making sure everything that's dead is stopped moving, and anything that was a living plant is now a dead plant. You know, poking them with a stick, even if they are a stick.
So,
Afterglow.
On the walk back, Sylvia would be filling in Monarch in a little bit more about the group. It's like, okay, so yeah, this guy has an issue with Changeling. This guy likes to collect heads. I don't know what's up with the cleric, but apparently I'm out healing him for some reason, and I'm the bard. Sorry.
I will go with my original statement. You're an unconventional group of revolutionaries.
You know, revolutionaries is a bit weird. I mean, we kind of took over this town. It wasn't exactly revolutionary, but we kind of took it over. But trust me, it's actually better in our hands than it was in the previous hands, because that guy was just crazy.
Better than Strahd's hand, at least.
You know, he's another thing I haven't even quite figured out yet. He's a little bit obsessed with this chick, but yeah, I don't know. I think he's just needing a date.
Are the so no one's coming over to Vlad for healing? You guys are still on the other
Well,
side.
we're still on our walk back.
That's why I didn't respond to the I'm out healing the cleric thing, because I couldn't hear you.
Bro.
But the guys, the Raven boys, Mardikovs, that's their name. The Mardikovs, are they walking over, or are they turning back into ravens and flying away?
They are remaining in human form. They have those feathered cloaks on, but Elvir is attempting to heal his brother some more, but he is basically out of his healing spells.
They're not coming over to me?
They are very near you. They're right by the wall, and you aren't far from them.
Oh, okay. Then I'll just go over to them. Vlad will walk over, toss aside the dead branch that he was using as a weapon. I still remember that last week. I picked up his ally and started hitting him with it. Shillelagh for the win.
Pretty much.
I discard the dead plant monster I was using as a weapon and kneel down next to Adrian and say, "We will talk later about these cloaks that let you turn into birds. For now, I must tend to the living." And he gestures to Adrian and says, "With your permission."
Elvir looks at you and kind of gives a sideways smirk and says, "It is not the cloaks."
Yeah, Victor approaches interested in these.
So are you birds? As I'm tending to Adrian, I say, "So are you a bird or a person then?"
He turns his head again towards you, and as he moves, you now notice, after having gone through what you have seen with them, that the movement of his head is almost bird-like as he peers at you and turns his head very quickly to the side in a very snap-to-the-side bird-like move.
Are you? Is this some form of lycanthropy?
Yes, it is indeed. We will talk more about it later. Here is perhaps not the time.
I'm very curious about this, yes. Perhaps no, I say as I finish wrapping up Adrian's wounds. He regained 8 hit points plus whatever level he would be, however many hit dice he has. It's 8 plus the amount of hit dice you have.
Okie doke.
I would assume that Sylvia and Monarch are probably close to the at this point.
Yeah,
They were at least one turn away of a full movement from us when we killed the last thing, I think.
I thought we were at least 2 rounds of at least getting over there, but I figure once we hear the combat slow down, we're just like, oh, let's take our time.
Oh, okay, we're not needed anymore.
Yeah, whatever.
I grab Adrian's arm and help him to his feet, and say, "We will be back to the winery in a while. I believe we can talk about this then. Until then, are you staying with us, or will you return before us?"
Elvir nods and says, "I will help my brother get back. We need to report to my father. He will be very worried about it."
You do that then. May the grace of Latam never go with you.
Probably. I guess I don't know. Monarch, do you think by this time we probably would have gotten back to the group?
Yeah, we're in narrative time. As wounded as we are. Like,
I was hoping to
no
get
point.
them before the Mardukov boys left because the gem.
I'll just turn up now. Like I said, it's narrative time. I highly doubt
Yeah.
we'll have a
Yes.
major objection to us appearing.
You're welcome. If you need to talk to them or whatever, you can at this point. This is the point for the wrap-up conversations, and I know Deerrock will need to talk with his barbarians.
Yeah. No. She's just pretty much just gonna beeline towards them and goes, I think this belongs to you. I don't know if it's still good or not, but.
Elver and Adrian.
Suddenly, Victor turns into a cat.
Elver and Adrian both look very excited as they see it. Yes, that is one of the gems. The other one, I believe, is in Berez.
Where?
It is a village to the east, a drowned village. It was wiped out by a great flood.
Ah.
The sunken village we've heard so much about.
Yep.
That is also something we will discuss when we get back to. Actually, yes, it would be better to talk to your father directly.
So, do you actually hand them the gem?
Yeah, I would give it. I would give it back because we need that to make the booze flow again.
They accept it very gratefully, and Elvir carefully tucks it on an inside pocket of his cape, where it will be safe and protected.
Fly fast, my friends. And watch the skies. The devil is still about.
He nods very quickly and glances up towards what remains of the dark, swirling clouds, which now are starting to recede into more like the standard overcast that you've come to notice. However, the mist to the west, the odd, eerie, illusionary mist-looking thing, has not changed at all. There is still an image through the mist as if it's some 5 miles away of a golden city with spires.
Vlad turns to Sylvia, who is next to him, and says, "Ah, the walking corpse returns. Are you still injured?"
Probably, but you know what? Right now, I think we're coming off a wonderful, wonderful victory high, so I don't feel a thing.
Well, let me look you over. I can give you a little bit more healing. And I will use an... You know what? I'll use an improved bandage.
This image, she's got like her hand on my head or something, using me as a crutch.
So
No.
character levels.
No, she's using that. She's using that sword, by the way.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that?
Total of 16 points of healing.
Okay, let's see where I'm at here. Yeah, that'll probably put me back to full.
And now to Deerrock. What do you need to say to the wild man?
I pretty much approached the chieftain and thank you for aiding us in the battle against the evil ones.
He makes a fist and slaps it to his heart in salute. For you, we are grateful. You have solved the mystery of the ages that we have sought so long.
And what was that? That I was strong enough to wield your weapon?
Yes, for hundreds of years, my spirit has remained here, which is why it could be called by the one who rules this land. Now, our time is over. We have at last served our cause, and he can call us no longer.
Vlad walks over hearing this, says, "Would you allow me to give you a religious rite of passage if you are indeed going to die again?"
Deerrock would continue, do you wish to finally rest?
Yes, we go now to our ancestors. Our task is done and a successor has been found.
Then rest, brothers. You have earned it.
What?
Know that Deerrock will carry on your legacy. And I salute the way they saluted.
He nods and says,
Before you go,
Go ahead.
what deity do you worship?
We worship an ancestor of ours. We celebrate our ancestors.
Very well. And he grabs his holy symbol and says, by the blessing of the thunder, may you go into your ancestors' arms. Drink mead with them in their halls.
He nods in thanks and says, fight well. And he nods at Dirok, kin of our soul, and may your companions have strong arms in battle.
They do. They will. Rest.
And they begin to walk
Man, I'm so strong.
towards the forest. And as they start walking down the hills towards the cairns, their forms become more and more misty until finally they just fade away as if they're walking into a mist somewhere.
Oh, they were full on spirits? That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, yeah. Man, I'm so strong. I rolled that nat 1 to resist that grapple last week.
Yeah, right? You were...
As you're talking, they just keep pushing you out the way to talk to Daryl. Like, no.
Monarch.
You know what you did.
Monarch. You fought... And you notice this. It is the first time he has actually called you Monarch since you joined our merry little band. Monarch. You did well. Are you injured? I can help. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this with you.
Probably totally injured.
He will very curtly have his hands behind his back. Suddenly gonna just flick some embers from his still burning coat. Because I wasn't far, I think, as I climbed the tree.
Yeah, you were.
For a while.
So, I do not wish to intrude, but some healing would be most appreciated.
Sylvia's going to stand behind Monarch and just nod furiously. Totally just... And she's going to mimic him, like, going down with the tree type thing and everything.
Yeah, timber!
Yeah, pretty much. It's like this weird little miming going on behind the halfling.
It's 11 plus 6 is 17 points of healing. I say, as you did well with us. If it was up to me alone, you would have a place in our group opposing the devil. We could use your talents.
They're certainly on offer. You are a unconventional band, but very effective. I must say, Durok, you sounded every bit the leader. Very elegant.
Oh god.
Sword of the land, indeed.
No.
What? What did he say? Derek doesn't understand.
You spoke well.
He said,
He'll just translate. You spoke well. Like a warrior.
He said you led those men well. A war chief. Sword of the land, indeed.
Oh, thank you. Why didn't he just say that?
I must argue he has something of a point, doesn't he? Let's just move on.
Remember,
looks-
one. No fancy words.
Vlad looks over at this mist and says, I do not believe our task is quite done yet here today. There is still one mystery left unsolved. And he points. I would like to investigate that before we go.
And indeed,
Points to what?
stuck in this corrupted tree that you're looking at, you can see this axe above the remains of whatever adventurer or warrior or whatever that's laying in the roots. You can see that there is an axe stuck in the trunk of this corrupted tree.
To Dirok, I will bequeath the last 6 of my... wait. Each one is worth 4. So, yeah, the last... How many hit points are you down for?
Not a whole lot. I'm at like 3/4.
Okay, but how many?
Barbarians.
How many hit points until you're full?
Let me take a look because I forgot what my full is. All right. 26.
26 until you're full.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else are, like, leveled,
4 times 6. I'll give you the last 6 of my good berries. Heal 24.
That's nearly me at
24.
full.
Yep, that's
Barbarians,
almost
man. And that's effectively twice the amount. Because rage.
Right.
Yeah, he took twice
so-
that damage. And he had healing
Effectively twice the
between.
amount because I'm the bear.
Yeah, and he took healing in the middle of it too, so he's had quite a bit of damage.
Yeah.
So as we're all, I'm assuming we're all going towards the tree. As we're walking towards the tree, Vlad will just scoop out the last 6 of his magical berries and give them to Dirok. They taste like chicken and pot roast. I can make them taste like whatever I want to.
Dirk, do
You know,
good. Dirk, get a snack.
Make it taste like the blood of my enemies.
You know
One
what?
of those
There's a
berries
cool joke
tastes
to be
like
played there.
blood sausage.
I mean, there's a seriously cruel joke you could play there, but
I
Pretty
know,
hard.
Sylvia.
Yeah, that's you, isn't it? That's you, Sil.
this is why I don't cook.
And
The
why
desire to poison others. What?
In any case, Monarch, I remember you saying something about wishing we had honey earlier. When next I'm able to cast this spell, one of these, if you eat one of my berries, you will have the taste of the finest honey you have ever had.
He will chuckle. Do forgive my outburst. A somewhat childhood desire. I have no great desire for it, but I will partake of it.
Very well. Have we reached the tree at this point?
Yes, you would.
I would assume we would be looting
Those-
any of the druid bodies as well.
Yeah, as usual, you find the druids have very little belongings. The druids here seem to have branches of this tree that you are walking towards, and anyone who is choosing to walk towards the tree would have arrived at the foot of it.
I don't think anyone's going to stay behind.
Vlad
No.
will kneel down at the skeleton and inspect the skeleton before the axe.
The skeleton has remnants of leather armor. The armor is clearly very old. The leather is dry and crackling and breaking apart. There's very little left of it, except perhaps a few studs that can be seen on pieces of the leather. Basically, there's not much of worth for the leather itself. However, there is a pouch which does jingle when you pick it up, and there is this axe that is stuck in the tree.
Vlad
saying,
will look
"Don't
inside
nick
the
my
pouch.
stuff."
He's going to look in the pouch, you say?
Yes.
Yeah, he finds 300 gold in the pouch.
That's a revivify spell.
Share.
Vlad will hand it off to Sylvia for now. Just here. And he hands her the pouch of gold. Says, we can divvy this up later, but they do know how much is in there. And he turns to the rest of the group, and he says, one of my abilities will let me speak with this, I assume it was a man, this man's spirit, but only for a short time. Before I cast it,
Let's see, it would only apply to Vlad.
it's a speak with dead spell.
I know, but this is something else. I don't think this will apply to anyone but Vlad. Vlad, would you roll perception, please?
Sure, what could possibly go wrong? Perception, I actually have a decent perception.
No, you don't.
you don't.
Except for today. Starting right off right, folks.
At least it's not in battle. The only thing you notice is as you approach the roots of the tree,
It's a skeleton.
you feel like the hair is standing up on the back of your neck, but that's about it.
I don't like this place. I would like to be away as fast as possible. Dirac, will you give that axe a tug? And he turns to the rest of the group. Yes, Sylvia?
No, I was just wondering if I could do a history check to see if I had remember reading anything about it, or stories, bardic stories told across lands Good deal.
Give me a history check, a lore check.
Yeah, not bad.
Significantly better.
You don't remember anything from outside Barovia, but you remember the Mardikovs at the winery mentioning the Gultheus tree. And as you look at it, it reminds you the branches and the appearance of the bark and wood looks very much like that staff that Victor took.
Yeah, Victor looks between his shovel's new shaft and the tree.
Huh.
He's like, well, I think I just found an answer to something I was wondering.
Sylvia, what are
And
you
he
looking at?
Shows them the shaft.
They look similar.
Gives
I
them the
don't
shaft.
understand.
Phrasing.
Not touching it. Not
We're
touching that
PG,
black
folks.
We swear. We swear.
Primarily.
Yeah, just
Are
PG.
you kidding me?
Primarily.
Do you know how many jokes like this a 12-year-old makes?
Primarily.
This is the primary form of humor.
It's,
Yeah, I'm a vampire for all genres. I sparkle and I suck blood through my shaft.
Oh, God.
Anyways,
Anyway.
Derek will do what
There you
he's
go.
the
told.
sound of
Grab the
1,000 fans writing art.
mopping brow intensifies.
In any case,
Here we go.
they look similar, but I don't understand what is what. What?
The Mardikovs mentioned something about this. The name is drawing a blank because I've already forgotten it. Oh, silly. Yeah, just
This is why we take notes.
this is why I should try to remember better. But you know, whatevs. Yeah, just there's something familiar about the tree. I don't know, Victor. You think it might be connected? I mean, you're the one who's all part of the nature and all that fun stuff. So
While they're talking, Derek's gonna go ahead and try to pull the axe out like Vlad asked.
I will cast guidance on Durok.
Very good. I'm looking a little bit, by the way, at my stream broadcast to see if there's anything I can do to reduce the stream output to help people with the Twitch stream that's doing a lot of hiccuping and buffering. Okie doke. That's about the best I can do. I don't have much else I can do to reduce the requirements on my stream. Got a lot of stuff outgoing with all the videos, and seems like my internet is having some problems tonight handling it all. Anyway, who is, Dirok has the axe. Who is actually interested in taking it?
I'm just trying to pull it out because it's in the tree, right?
Yes, give me a strength
that's
roll.
1d4 on top of that. You have guidance.
Is it just a straight strength roll or saving throw or?
Just a straight strength roll. You're just seeing if you're stronger than how far it's buried. Oh yeah, it comes out.
I
so
think
fast.
I'm stronger.
Yeah, it comes out so fast that you stumble backwards just a bit because it came out a little too easy.
Take it out, bury it back into the
Phrasing.
tree to have a harder challenge.
Anyway, so there is something special about these three, but I don't understand what. In any case, this area makes it. Look at my arm; all of my hairs are standing up.
Yeah,
In any case,
this tree, the feeling and the sensation you have just seems to emanate from the tree itself.
I may be able to do something about these, but not right now. First, and he turns back towards the skeleton. He says, "I'm able to ask this man, or his spirits, moreover, 5 questions. I would like to know what these questions are before I cast this spell. Otherwise, it may lose some of its potency. What information do we wish to know?
Do we want to know anything? I mean,
I want to know what is going on with these 3. It's one of the questions I was going to ask.
well,
What's
then by
going
all
on
means,
with
go ahead
this
and-
idea?
How did the druids become corrupted?
How did the druids become corrupted?
That works.
Or
Look,
3
I'm
more?
following you guys. I have no questions for this tree or anything about it.
A classic is what killed you, but honestly, looking at the age of the corpse, we don't need to know.
Have I ever fallen in love?
No, anything but that.
What is love,
Wrong
really?
character. Wrong character. That
I,
was
I think
Forcewick pulls his invisibility hood off and shoots a crossbow.
God.
well, what is love? I believe the answer is baby don't hurt me. Baby don't hurt me no more.
Love, maybe don't hurt
I will
me.
hurt all of you. Stop.
I'm not even
I
the
have a
bard.
history with that song.
Makes me want to play with tanks.
A battle with tanks.
Yeah.
Vlad turns to the corpse and casts Speak with Dead.
and there is a glow which emanates through the eyes of the corpse, and a voice that seems to come out of like a depth of a well speaks to you. I hear.
Greetings, Spirit. I have a series of questions for you. The first of which, what are the details on this tree that you are under?
The tree is the corruption of the land. I tried to destroy it so there would be no more corrupted plants, but I failed.
Is it the source of the corruption?
Yes, when the rituals are spoken.
Why did you fail?
The corruption crawled from the ground and destroyed me before I could finish.
He turns to the others. It sounds like if we try to continue destroying this tree, we will become attacked. Since none of you see what is going on, you just see me talking to an inanimate skeleton.
Yeah.
Can we hear the one-sided questions?
You can hear the one-sided questions.
Yeah.
It seems the tree is the source of the corruption here. This man tried to cut it down, but quote-unquote, the corruption rose from the ground and killed him before he was able to finish.
I thought that Strahd was the source of corruption.
Apparently it is this tree. More specifically, I believe it is referring to the corruption of these plant monsters and the corrupted druids.
Maybe he grew from the tree. Maybe he planted the tree. He is a vampire. He's been around for a while.
He may have planted the tree.
Who is this person?
Strahd?
No,
Oh, who's the person
skeleton.
around?
Vlad turns back to the skeleton and says, in life, he turns back to the group, says, I want to phrase this in such a way that it answers both who he was and what his position was in a single question.
What brought him to Barovia would be a good question.
I'll tell you a good
Like,
amount.
is he Barovian?
I believe he is Barovian, yes. He turns back to the corpse and says, who were you in life?
Jacob Treemender, I was one of the wild men.
He looks at Dirok and says, I believe he was one of the berserkers before he died.
Then he deserves rest as well.
I agree with this. Turns back to the corpse and says, when you refer to the corruption, were you referring to the plant? He died, and I stopped the question. Turn back to the group and says, he doesn't know about the spell doesn't work if asking about something he doesn't know about. if we say plant monsters, he might not understand.
Then
I
don't
turn
use
back-
plant monsters.
I turn back to the skeleton and say, when
What
you
is it
say-
that you called them? What was it that you called them? Blights?
Yes, blights, thank you. I turn back to the skeleton and say, when you say corruption, are you referring to these vine blights and such that rose up and attacked us because no? Are you referring to the vine blights?
The corrupted blights, yes. The heart of this tree is rotten. It was corrupted by that which also corrupted Strahd.
You see
my.
Vlad visibly shake his head and reel back from this and says, "That is quite a surprise. All of my questions are spent. The spell is ended. Yes, he's referring to the plant blights. He said that the heart of the tree is corrupted by the same corruption that took the count.
The devil?
The devil, yes.
I'm holding the axe and I'm ready to swing at the tree.
Don't do that yet. As the corpse said that more plant monsters will rise up and attack us. We need to be ready.
The plant monsters arrived because of the druids, not because of anything else.
The druids may not have been here when this man died. It may be the druids may have been summoning the plant monsters, but I believe that they arose up on their own to defend the tree. I agree that we need to destroy this tree, but we will be in for another fight if we do.
Look, there might be a better way to destroy this tree, because clearly if what Vlad is saying is true, he died because he tried to chop down this tree. Do you really want to repeat his mistakes?
I have an idea.
Darok makes no mistakes. I'm
have an
gonna
idea.
ready myself again.
Dirok, cut down the trees nearest this one. Do not touch this tree, but cut down the trees around this. We will set fire to these three and prevent it from burning down the entire forest. In fact, we might as well just burn down the entire grove. It's not
I mean,
connected to any...
realistically speaking,
The berserkers are to be left alone.
Fair.
Yes. I will bury this skeleton. I will cleanse it and I will bury it. After that, we can burn this grove. Any objections?
Okay, one. If we burn this grove and we find a way, we find a way we could have saved it, who's gonna be the idiot then?
how can we save a magically corrupted grove? Actually, my knowledge of Arbory, for the most part, once a tree is gone, it's gone. They don't really have much of a healing factor.
Vlad looks at Victor. Do you know of any way to cure the tree?
I don't know. Do I have any ideas on this? Should I roll nature?
Yeah, give a nature check, and because of your background being a woodsman, I will give you advantage on it.
Wow.
You realize that the only way that in any woods that you've been in the past, that once a tree's heart is completely eaten away by, say, beetles or worms or any kind of disease that has eaten in it, about the only salvation for the tree is to remove it before it infects the rest of the forest.
Once a tree has been compromised to this level by beast or pestilence, it must simply be removed. We must cut it down and burn the roots.
Okay, fair enough. Hey, look, I am just trying to find alternatives before we smash a whole bunch of stuff. And let's just also put this, a foreign land that none of us are actually born from. Well, maybe very few of us are born from. And I'm all for hyping you guys up, but I gotta make sure I can hype up something that's worth hyping up, except your murder sprees.
And I thank you for your caution. In this instance,
You did notice the gigantic ceremony and the evil walking tree, yes?
Yeah.
That might happen again. That was kind of bad.
Vlad kneels
Most
down
people don't enjoy those trees.
and sets his pack on the ground. He takes out one of his scented candles that he uses in his rituals to Lathander, and he lights it.
We will need a bigger fire.
I agree.
Do we have oil?
We do.
I highly doubt there's any more shrubbery that can arise to attack us. Derek should simply just swing at the tree until it's damaged enough and we can set fire to its innards. It'd be far more efficient.
There is a little groove in the tree where we pulled the axe out from, right?
Yeah, so let's let Derek go to town, basically. This is our character, obviously.
if we-
I just let Derek go to town on it. Get it over with.
If I put the candle into the groove and just leave it there, would I have a pretty good idea that it would catch fire?
Yeah, although the woods
It's
are
moist.
moist because of all the storm and corrupted, and it suggests that in spite of the dampness, it will probably catch fire.
Ooh.
I was
Vlad,
just gonna interrupt for a sec. You're gonna like raise his hand, be like, "Hey guys,
yes,
I guessed one right. I got one right." Ah! I was as happy as a clam that one of his some of his old read and poorly written books knowledge was correct.
you are correct in this.
Wait, what was he correct?
That the tree needs to be cut down because once it's corrupted, it stays corrupted.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I put the candle in the groove.
I guess
as-
we should all stand back, kind of keep a defensive position in case anything shows up.
How far back are you standing?
Well, before we back up, Vlad will say a quick prayer of cleansing to Lathander, and then he will scoop up the skeleton and pick up his backpack and.
Oh, yeah, Derek would help him with the skeleton pieces.
How thick is this tree? Do we need a second woodsman?
It's probably
Maybe the size of Wintersplinter. Okay. And then, I guess, as far back, we'd probably hold the choke point up the hill again.
I would definitely want to retreat out of the groove entirely.
If we want to hasten the cutting, I could become some sort of
We're gonna burn.
creature.
We're burning it down.
Shop.
I was going to let the fire take its course. If you wish to
That will
assist,
take some time.
Are you adding
If
any
you wish.
fuel to the fire, any dry
Well,
timber
yeah.
or anything?
I will. Well, I gave my oil to Sylvia, so never mind.
Well, what time is it? Out of curiosity, we're gonna take a short rest here and just let it go up and make sure it goes up.
Yeah, just sit here for
I'd say
an hour,
we're-
watch, take a deep breath.
I think it's about midday. Everybody except Gerard.
Yep, everybody but Derek could also use this time to attune to weapons.
Yeah. So short rest. We set fire to the tree, or you can even have a hack at it first if you want, just to make sure it's a bit weak. Set it on fire. Short rest on top of the hill. Watch it go up, and then
I will
Fine,
add
fine.
a little bit of kindling to the candle to make sure that it actually full and good catches on the tree, and then I will retreat out of the grove.
I thought we were going to stay to make sure it burns up.
Oh, are we camping in the grove? What if it catches
Yeah,
everything?
Just
on
down
top
the
of it?
hill.
the stone circle.
There's only like one tree. We're surrounded by cairns right now.
No, it's a big tree in the middle of a bunch of other trees.
Oh,
As
burn
you
all of them.
mentioned,
Yeah, that's fine.
a lot of the trees uprooted and moved towards you, and there's only some scattered brush around. Pretty much the grove itself walked at you, and there's a few scattered dried plants of various kinds that are possibly making a little bit of creaking noises, but not actively attacking you, and this tree is the major issue in the middle of
Okay, then never mind. Yeah, we can sit right next to it and watch it burn.
Yeah.
Roast some marshmallows.
Pretty much stay up the hill just in case the any plant life does come to life to try to
Yes.
defend it.
Dirok going to attempt to hack at the tree with anything, or just use the fire?
I think we're just using fire for right now.
I think we're gonna take a short rest and watch the fire.
Okay, so what would you say your distance from the tree is?
The top of the hill where the choke point is.
Sure, a good 200 feet at the top of the hill.
I think it. Well, yeah. I guess it technically is because each square is 50 feet.
Mm-hmm.
again, as the fire begins to burn, Vlad again gets this creepy sensation, and he can feel something is not
Can we
quite
get the roll
right.
again?
Pardon?
Can I roll again?
Not on perception, no.
Would this pertain to religion? To investigate why this is not good at religion either, but
Depends on what.
I have 2 third level and 1 second level spell left.
Okay.
I don't have anything. I don't have anything detectable. So
Okay.
Well,
So
actually,
you don't
now hold
have
on.
detect type things.
I don't have to detect good and evil. No.
Hold on the I guess the short rest. Because how long do we have to wait after the short rest to do a long rest?
Long rest is 8 hours. Short rest is 1 hour.
Well, yeah, but how long between the rests can we
There's a
do?
rule about that.
It's non
That's-
separate.
It's only long rest and long rest.
Yeah, they're two
I
separate
know
things.
that
You can
you
sit
need
here
to-
and take a bit of a break for an hour, and then you can go back to the winery and sleep your full 8 hours. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
I know that you can only have 1 long rest every 24-hour cycle, but that's like it's basically saying once a day.
Yeah,
Mostly.
which makes sense.
Right, but
You
you
can,
can
like,
have
wake
a
up,
short rest
spend your
and
spell
then
slots,
have
go
a
back.
long rest as well, so that's not a problem.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll probably
So yeah, I guess we're doing a short rest, watching the tree burn.
Kumbaya, my God.
Dirok's gonna use this short rest to attune to the weapons. Can I attune the? Well, is the axe magical? And then, am I able to attune to both weapons?
In time, yes, but not at the same time.
So only one time right now.
Yes.
Then I'll.
While the tree is burning, Victor does not breathe.
Smoke.
That's worth noting.
That's a decent thing. Vlad doesn't do it because Victor didn't say anything about it, but that's a decent idea.
Is,
Victor,
is
I'm
Vlad,
not poking with.
is Vlad able to hold his breath that long?
For an entire tree burn? No. That's gonna take like an hour and a half for it to fully burn, and not even that. Like a couple hours to burn. I don't hold my breath that long. I can cover my if it starts feeling like thick, I can cover my face with my cloak. That's about it.
During
smoked D&D fire.
here, I've got to do something very quickly.
But as we were saying the other week, Gore, I can't use the axe, and Alex uses polearms. You and I are really the only two who uses melee weapons. So if you wanted to part with the axe, I'd be more than happy to take the spear.
But I need to know what the axe does.
It's, if I remember correctly, didn't we discover last week it was like something like it's extra plant-based
Yeah,
damage?
We don't have
OOC,
any. That's OOC stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was assuming out of character. I assume he's not going to part with the spear, because I was given to him by the watchy. Like, he ain't getting let go of that.
And he doesn't
Yeah.
have to get rid of either of them. It's just that in the hour he has of rest, he can attune to one of them.
I'll pick the spear.
That's what I'm doing. Is I'm attuning to the spear.
Axe is secondary.
I just want to know what the axe does, so I know that if it's something that would actually be useful, or if I should let someone else attune to it.
So how will you die?
No, without attune.
Actually, I think I can pick up a spell that might help, but I gotta double check. I gotta double check the.
But you don't
I
have it
think
now,
we're
so it won't help at this moment.
No. Yeah. I mean, I would have gotten it because of the bardic college thing, but yeah.
I'm just saying, though, I mean, how do you feel about wielding a great axe? Sylvia with an axe? Come on. You gotta be a bit tempted.
I'll explain it after game. It's not that important for right this moment, so let's keep going.
Over the course of the hour, eventually the tree catches fire, its dried leaves and things begin to dry out more from the water that was on them, and it slowly catches fire into a torch. At one point there is a groaning and a creaking, and it almost sounds like a shriek. And the roots from the ground begin to snake out of the ground in a 15-foot radius around the tree, as if they are trying to grab something. It is as if there is 1,000 snakes reaching out of the ground and trying to snag something. But since you are not in the immediate area, it just snatches air. And over a period of time, the holes remaining in the heart of the stump anyone who feels they are capable can give me a nature check.
I don't even think I'm proficient in nature.
I'm gonna try it because why the hell not?
Nope.
Lap.
It is very green outside.
Woohoo, double 15.
Literally, regardless of the answer, Alex has the wrong answer.
You got the same score I did.
Yeah, no, but this is Alex. He's got the wrong
Okay.
answer no matter what it is.
Okay.
Sylvia, Vlad, and Jason. Jason more based on less on his nature ability and on these strange books that he's read. He's just sure he knows something. But the group of you, as you look at this burning residue of the stump, you just feel like there's still something underneath in the roots. You can just sense that the tree has this like depth to it.
Alex is the first one to speak up. Now, what we need to do is we need to get some of that saltpeter, I think the stuff's called, and stuff it into the... Wow. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet for a bit.
Now, she's doing good. She's ready to fight. She says, give me an axe. I'm ready to hack this thing up.
Seems the deed's not done. Perhaps we should tear out the roots.
I do believe we need to finish off these 3.
Victor will just kind of silently walk up, and whoever has the axe right now, he holds out his hand for it.
Darak gives him the X.
I will
Victor-
walk with him back down to the tree.
Yeah, I have my own great axe. I can go ahead and use that.
Yeah, Victor turns into like a thickly muscled gorilla and just tries to split stump.
Wild shape, everyone.
Give me a weapons roll, please. Do you have any kind of proficiencies in axes? This is a battle axe.
Let's see. No, I don't.
Okay, give me
But
straight.
as using it as a tool, I feel like I'd have some background in it since I'm trained in carpenter's tools.
I will give you only a +1. Since this is a magical thing that has to be attuned to, I'm not going to give you full proficiency unless you have full battle axe proficiency.
All right. Give me a
Darak's
second.
gonna walk up and use his great axe with him.
Figure out. Okay.
A battle axe is. Let me take a look.
Alex is 1d8, versatile 1d10.
Yeah, versatile would be
For the
1d10.
attack roll, it would be 1d20 plus your strength plus 1, I guess.
1d10. Oh, it's for attack.
And is there an enhancement bonus on this?
+1. Oh, +8. Okay.
Plus 8 for the attack, plus 8 for the damage.
The attack is d20 +1. The damage is the battle axe damage.
All right, 1 sec.
Well, damn.
Ouch.
Okay, that one, you're welcome to keep trying this. I'm assuming eventually you will hit it.
Darak's gonna come up and use his
I assume
great.
the second time I hit for 20 damage by the
Yes.
looks of it.
And is that 20 already have the +8 added? Yes.
Yeah, it's +8 and +5 strength from the form.
Very good. So you are doing 20 damage to this each time. And as you hit, again, these roots.
All right, let's see.
Sickeningly corrupted and beyond help. An unfortunate foreshadowing of Shroud. Stroud, it feels like.
I'm never around you when you say the name itself.
Oh, I kind of know. Darak does not know, but I do remember being told this in game. So maybe someone else should tell him.
Darak knows. He was there
well-
with us.
Well, Darak also doesn't pay a lot of attention. That's why I'm trying to be nice about it. So I'll message this in
Is
Discord.
that last 16 an acrobatics check?
Just yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm back at the camp still.
Yeah, you are able to dodge a plant, one of the roots near you that tries to grab you by the neck. It snakes up and tries to wrap, just whip itself around your neck, but you manage to tumble aside and avoid it.
Whip my hair back and forth. Whip my hair back and forth. I'll
No,
cast
it's fine,
guidance.
bro. I can never say his name right, so I'm never saying the right guy. It's fine. Some random guy called Strand is listening. It's fine.
Just
I
think of
will. I'll cast guidance.
STRAD. Don't think of any other letters. Just drop
I
that
know.
middle
I
all the
slipped on.
I will
Wow.
cast guidance on Victor.
Yeah, Victor's just like making his gorilla grunts and just like he looks like he's just a dude doing chores, except for the species. Like he's clearly done this a million times.
It takes
Can Derek join in?
Yes, and of course you add your bit of damage to it as well. And
I would like to attack recklessly.
reckless attack on a tree. Yeah, you are able to help him. It takes the two of you an amazing length of time. It takes nearly half an hour, but eventually with a great deal of sweat and effort and dodging of these roots that keep trying to choke you, little
Okay.
Victor beats his chest in victory.
Now I think he's dead.
That's something you see every day.
Ghosts usually determine something.
See, now I'm thinking, if you really want to annoy Strahd, what you could do is like set up really weird scenes and see his name, so he just sees this weird stuff all the time. Like, you say his name, you've got like a beach scene with wild illusions, just this ape banging his chest. He's like, what the hell? You do like another water scene, and you do like improv groups, jokes. Just really annoying non-stop.
Just
go into a forest, an absolute forest of Wildlaki inflatable tube men.
Yeah.
We just need some brave volunteers to act out famous internet shock images.
He's going to stop looking, apparently. He's going to stop looking eventually.
Yeah, exactly. Try and gross him out.
Or you get a whole town to constantly be saying his name as they go about their everyday lives, and just straight up overwhelm him with mundane imagery.
Okay, everyone.
We'll defeat him with madness.
Okay, new court order. By now, every time you mention you're going to the bathroom, you have to say you're taking Strahd. From now on. You'll be arrested, you'll be put in jail if you do not call it that.
We'll just annoy him to death.
Strahd is just like, oh, groceries, baby crying, goatee again.
every time he hears your group, he'll hear this background baby crying, and he'll be like, "What? Where is this?"
Congratulations, it's yours. What?
I assume that Victor, Durok, and Vlad walk back up to the other tree at the top of the hill.
Yeah, I'm like loping along on all fours.
As you
I
look back
believe-
down the hill towards the Viltheus tree, you realize that there is something odd occurring around it. As you look at the area where this tree is like uprooted with its roots just sticking up black into the air, the grass around it is turning a different color. It is becoming a more healthy color. Before it was a sickly, acidic green looking color, and it's slowly turning a healthy, vibrant green.
That's actually pretty quickly for plants.
Remember, Magivers.
We did good.
Wow. That feels like a commercial. You'll see the results instantly.
Right?
What is a commercial?
It is something it is something that I experienced in my time in the Dawnwatch.
Okay, so Rumalo
I'm
is
even
doing his
gonna ask.
meditation.
I assume we're all just standing at the top of this hill watching this happen in a very heroic and epic pose.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I would have sat the camera, you guys hack away.
Taking a bite of your jerky that you got in your bag and commenting on the roots screaming and the grass growing and the birds chirping. Yeah.
Alright. Shall we return to the winery then?
Yes. I'm assuming
Yeah.
I'm attuned to the spear now.
Yes.
Alright, I put the spear back, I take out my paddle ball. Doing a dexterity check.
I cast guidance on Durok.
Victor will
Our
just
viewers
carry
who
the
are not around.
Yes! I am finally good at it! I get it. You have to hit the ball and it comes back. And I keep hitting it. I finally learned it, guys. Look!
For our viewers that were not around a few episodes ago, they went in a toy shop in Vallaki and in an attempt to teach Derek how to play, he's been missing it horribly.
I get it now. I figured out one of
You're
life's
doing it!
Oh,
God.
my greatest miseries.
I just what I can imagine Rumbelow is doing as he's watching this.
I'm just quietly, like, his face there, slightly meditating. Just,
I'm just gonna silently mouth, don't ask.
I believe we are beyond that point.
You're at that unlocks the skill play.
Yeah!
I don't know,
Wait.
random.
Hold on, are we going north or south?
We're going north back towards the winery.
Yes, you would head north up the road towards the winery through the forest again. And as you go through the forest, you also notice that the trees are starting to look considerably more vibrant and less like they are about to reach out and snag you as you go past.
Oh, I'm glad that we don't have to worry about the trees trying to play touchy-feely.
And you eventually arrive back at the winery, and you find the 3 Mardikovs that are remaining. POTUS standing and talking to a young soldier that you recognize. It is Mikhail
Who's the
from
captain?
Vallaki, the Captain Mikhail from Vallaki.
Hey!
He has 2 of the village soldiers with him. Looks like they were there for protection on the journey, and he is talking to the Mardikovs.
Is it
Did they bring my
Mikhail or is
cart?
it Mikhail? Is it an M or a V?
Mikhail.
Got it, thanks.
Come on, guys, not every person in this game has to start with a B. You know, Victor, Vlad.
Other Victor.
I meant to mention this before, like, while they were hacking away at the tree. You mentioned that golden tower in the distance. I was wondering if anything, we didn't really address that before.
Oh yeah, the golden castle.
Yeah, what was? I wonder if we should get anything from that.
I don't even think we could reach it.
On what you're doing with it.
Given my background, should I do history or insight to glean anything of interest on it? Because you know my hermit feature. I want to know if it's related to that.
Neither would actually apply, but insight would be. Give me an Arcana roll.
I'd be education, man. It's mostly religion and history here.
God flew off back towards that tower when he was done, right?
No, he just went straight up and disappeared, you believe, as best you could tell, towards the north. He did not fly towards that mist or that tower. Rumbelow doesn't know a lot about it, but he has the arcane to be real image. You feel like it was a projected image of some kind.
It didn't ring any bells or anything like that. Nothing.
No, not specifically on your
That's true.
background.
Alright. We'll have some more, but we have moved on, so I shouldn't.
As we return to the winery, Vlad will walk up to POTUS, offers.
No, he already left.
POTUS isn't here.
No POTUS.
It's the
It's
captain.
Mikhail. Mikhail's Navy. Anyways,
Oh, sorry, I thought you said POTUS was here.
Did they bring my cart?
Yes, there is a.
What?
Yes, they do have
All
a
right.
part.
Victor seems to leave. Victor goes and pets his donkey and gives him a treat.
Vlad walks up to head Mardikov and says, "We have taken care of the corruption. We have stopped Wintersplinter and killed the 3 that was spreading the corruption."
That is good. I am glad to hear it. I sent my sons because I knew you would need more oil and more hands to fight that corruption. I know that part of this story is because there have been walking scarecrows that I have seen in the night. I know she is sending them.
They come from who?
Baba
Whereas
Lasaga. The old grandmother, the evil grandmother, Baba Lasaga. I know she is doing it. She works for her own reasons for Strahd.
Okay, so I took down walking scarecrows from Kresk sent by Baba Lazaga, evil grandmother.
Not Crest.
Another head that I need to go and take.
Now, Kresk, where do you say it was from?
Berez. Berez. And that name, when you hear it, Vlad, it strikes a major remembrance.
Do I remember anything about it?
Isn't that the
Or is
second
it-
village?
That you
Vlad, you can see that his tan skin pales, not too much, but noticeably, and he's suddenly like rigid. Says, "That is, it's. You said that there was somebody living there, Baba Lazaga.
Yes, the evil woman.
Do I know this name?
You something crawls at your mind that she had something to do with the memories that you had in your past.
We will.
Hmm.
We may pay a
So,
visit to there, but for now we must return to Vallaki. We have other business to take care of quickly."
Mikhail comes
Oh, man,
up
let's
to
not
you
go-
and salutes to you. Sir, I have a message from Commander Hippolytus.
Let's hear it then. Speak up.
1 second, I will put it up. You guys will, if you look under players, you will in a moment see this note.
oh god, this fun.
I arrived safely in Vallaki and plan to keep
Oop.
my flag here for the time being. The more secure Vallaki becomes, the more people, and thus intel, will come to the city. Our embedding in the town process apace is
Let
no
me read
small
it
part
since
thanks
it's
to
hard to read
Sylvia's.
the writing. Let me go ahead and,
Okay.
read it to you. Our embedding in the town proceeds apace, in no small part thanks to Sylvia's efforts before we left, and the wine I escorted back. There is already genuine happiness in town. You should feel a sense of pride. The newest initiates to the Dawnwatch have taken to their role. Captain Mikhail, my acting second, has found a new level of vigor and surprising competency with his inclusion to our organization. I have found him a capable officer despite his youth and inexperience. The Baron is giving me a wide berth. It seems without his guard dog, the man lacks teeth. I have become a regular in town meetings and policy discussions. I have kept the rooms in reserve, but the more time you all spend away, the more likely I will be unable to justify leaving such space unused. A monitor is justice upon you, General Evdomintaxe Epotus. I need him here to pronounce
Idumin
that.
Taexi.
Ipopo!
Idumin Taexi.
Oh god. You and your pronunciations, boys, stop it.
Gesundheit.
I had you.
It seems that things are going well in Vallaki then, he says to Mikhail.
Yes, sir. The commander is doing quite well. He is ordering the village into a manner that is very efficient.
This is good, not unsurprising. Damn, my words escape me. We co-led the Dawnwatch together for a long time. I know he would do well.
He is a firm
And it says
hand,
here
but a
that
just
you,
one.
and it says here that you are acting as seconds and doing a good job of it at that.
Surprisingly competent.
Ignoring this, he
Being
claps Mikhail on the
nice.
shoulder and says, "You have my thanks." Continue this good work. Every effort helps oppose the devil. He drops his hand, looks back at Head Markov, and says, "We will be returning to Vallaki. We have something we need to pick up." He briefly glances at Sylvia, and I have a meal I need to investigate.
And when you look back at Sylvia, she's already climbed into the back of Victor's cart, and she's like flopped out,
Is she sitting on the coffin?
probably like somewhere squeezed in between the side of the wagon and the coffin.
So
Well, the
things
coffin's
are,
not out in the open. It's in a crate that's bigger than it.
Yeah, no, I mean like wherever that is, she's probably like squeezed in between the wall and that.
there's
Vlad says,
there are some comments made in between. Damian Mardikov says, "Oh, I am disappointed. I was hoping that you would take this wagon," and he points to a loaded wagon full of the wine kegs, large kegs, vats, I guess. He says, "I was hoping maybe you would take it to Kresk. They are in need of wine." on when he hears that name.
Yes, well, you and your family were taking wine to Kresk long before we showed up. If you are uncomfortable with taking it on your own, we should be back within... He looks around the group.
Look, I got no
Expect us
problem.
within 3 days.
I got no problem doing Crest and then going back to Vallaki. I mean, I'm in no rush.
We need to get your doll.
I'm in no rush.
We are.
Despite that,
we
know
are in a rush.
Despite that, we know not what problems still await at Kresk. If we take the wine now, we are likely to be drawn into them, and Bone Grinder and your Pepper are likely to be put off even longer.
And I know Airrock does not want to put that off much longer.
So, crazy question. Since we've got, a couple of extra bodies here, and she's going to point at Mikhail and company, why not have them escort the wine on our behalf? And then they can report back on anything they find that's funky. If, of course, they make it back.
He looks at Mikhail and says, "This would be a good way to build relations between Vallaki and Kresk."
He considers and he turns and he talks to the town guard for a bit and finally turns back. He says, "Yes, I will agree to this on one consideration, sir. Please, when you get back to town, will you tell the commander and those who are working with him that we have taken the wine? He will think perhaps we were way late if we do not return."
I was planning on it. Vlad walks over to Sylvia and asks for the pouch of gold back.
What gold?
What?
The pouch that I handed you, Sylvia.
I have a retainer fee for all the stuff I'm doing.
Still just waiting with his hand out.
Yeah, Jesus.
Vlad, you're not aware your video's out, right?
What?
Your video's been out.
I still didn't understand that.
The video's down.
We have only an image of you, not a...
Oh no, yeah, I shut off my video because my sister came home and I didn't want to put her on the stream. But did she hand him the pouch?
Oh yeah, she did. She's just like, God, I can't make a joke.
Vlad takes out 10 gold, he'll take out 12 gold pieces and hand it back to Sylvia. We'll then walk over to Mikhail and hand Mikhail and each of the two, guards 4 gold pieces and say, "This is compensation for this extra task. And know that I will very definitely carry words of your deed to Commander Hypothesis now, wasn't it?"
General.
Generalissimo.
That's a general on a note.
Turns out like Tropica 4 down there.
It said general on the note. Mikhail's been referring to him as commander.
Okay.
In that case, we will be off. The thunder safety to you. And Sylvia?
No. Sorry, this is something else. Go on.
The thunder safety to you and safe travels.
And with that, Mikhail and the two town guard. The wagon was already harnessed up to the one remaining horse at the winery. Mardukov, Davian Mardukov, looks quite relieved. He says, I am glad. I did not wish to leave the winery. I am concerned that there will still be things attacking, and I wish to remain here.
Hopefully it'll slow down, though.
The land is
We
healing.
did set that tree on fire, so.
The land is healing. And your sons did give you the gem, correct?
Yes, we will. As soon as we are sure that the Baba Lasaga does not come for it, since I am convinced she has the first one, we will place it back in the field. Hopefully you can get the other one from her.
Who is this Baba Lasaga? I have a feeling we will be running into her before much longer.
She refers to herself as Baba, which is grandmother, but she is far from a grandmother. She is an evil force that has lived here for a...
Would this be referring to Tarot Card 9, The Conjurer, Dead Village, drowned by river, ruled by one who brought great evil, Book of Knowledge?
You certainly have the... Since he keeps talking about it as a drowned village, it would certainly fit into that scenario.
Okay, so in total we know where... we already visited the Horseman. We know where the Conjurer and the Healer are. All that's left is the Philanthropist, which we have yet to gain any clues on.
Yeah, the exact wording was, I see a dead village drowned by a river, ruled by one who has brought great evil into the world.
AFK for a sec.
So we think, did Strahd make a deal with the witch? That could be it.
Probably.
He got it from somewhere, because before I always assumed it was his own meddling, but the fact that we had that previous mention saying a being corrupted him, something corrupted him, it's like, did someone offer him something? Because I was thought it was his own doing, his own meddling, but never thought a person did it.
Well, someone had to make him a vampire.
Maybe he was just trying to cut a deal to get a nice lady.
Is any of this said in character?
No, this is me, just conjecture.
I thought it was in
Sorry.
character.
I know, I'll be using my very voice to voice.
Actually, all of that stuff could work both. It entirely could have worked in character. It's a general discussion.
Yeah, mine was intended to be in character.
I will say this then for say just I poorly acted on my part.
Davian frowns and he sneers in a very unpleasant way, like he's tasted something nasty. And he says, "It is said of powers in this land, and it was they that gave him both his strength and his corruption."
What threat was so great that he needed such foul mastery? What could have possibly threatened this realm, and he... Alas, very plain.
Yui Ball.
He knew what the Rock was coming and had to prepare. Yeah, that's what... I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, whatever his reasons for teaming up with the likes of the ugly, the super ugly, and the super weird, it's just another notch on the belt to turn around and kick straight in the teeth and tell it to go away.
But why? What drives a man to do such a thing?
And that's something we can find out along the way.
That he made a bar. Thought he could grab that which he desired.
Okay, so if I'm following this right though, from storyteller, dude loses girl, dude mourns girl, dude wants girl back in life, dude signs deal with whatever satanic creatures, demonic things, otherworldly beings, the super nasty, to get girl back. Oh yeah, the dude's just super lonely. This is just ridiculous.
You'd be sad if it were real. Worthy of a poet.
Yeah. Unfortunately, stories like his usually end in one way. Someone's getting an axe.
I like what they thought.
Derek stops his pedal. Did someone say axe?
Yeah, you're gonna have to decapitate Strahd. Can you do it?
You don't even have to ask.
Then I think we're all on the same page then.
Well then, perhaps I could ask for a trip back to Vallaki with you. I am somewhat out here with no belongings, with all of the clothes on my back.
And your very fancy words.
In spades.
You're more than welcome. Since you want to know a deeper story, might as well stick with us. Trust me, I'm not really with this group either. I'm just here for the good news.
I have been wondering, you seem like a worthy band, and certainly your mounting resistance is the only resistance I've stood that has not flailed horribly in this forsaken place. I certainly would like to bring that for my skills. I'm quite capable in body and mind, and furthermore, actually, I'd like to share a study with you. I spent a long time at a Abbey of the Dawn, just perfecting my studies before that incident brought me to this realm. And I studied at length certain artifacts for them. I went through ancient archives, things that would bore most, but I poured over them, narrowing my focus. And during that search, I came across a number of mentions of a sword. And Kresk does, to my recollections, appear in a number of scriptures in which this artifact was mentioned.
Well, if he gets back some good scouting information, we'll head there next. I have no problem with that.
You can get me some more information and study, I can possibly pin down its whereabouts, or maybe even understand its very functionality.
Perhaps the library back at our base.
Yeah, that's true. That crazy lady did have an extensive library. By the way, be very careful touching books. She's been known for dark art practices too.
I'll raise a brow, but...
And just for remembrance's sake, Osili, what the prophecy said regarding the sun sword was, look to the west, find a pool blessed by the light of the white sun.
We should head back.
Well, yeah. Notch off it. I mean, we can start here plotting and talking, or we can start walking and plotting and talking.
Yep, Derek just goes on, continues hitting his paddleball.
Well put there. Well, if you're happy, yeah, consider me your man. I guess Mike will straighten out his attire and say, well, if you have me, I'm your man.
You're a good fighter and you don't die. You're welcome with us.
Thank you.
Very good. So are you taking off immediately or doing anything here before you go?
I think
I'll also see if you can get a sip of wine.
I've had
Forever
people on the
drunk.
road.
The forever drunk.
Does he ask the Mardikovs?
I'm gonna ask the Markovs if he can get a sample before he goes.
I was kind of hoping he was not going to ask.
Yeah, just gonna take it.
God.
One of the Mardikovs, the elder, the more healthy of the two young men, immediately smiles and disappears back into the winery area and comes out with a gold label bottle of their finest wine.
Oh my god.
You spoiled me.
Someone gotta get tagged.
I will wait until I will hold off on this until I have some proper company. He looks to his group, some better company.
I see how it is. I see how it is.
I ignore him. I'm enjoying my paddleball. This is more entertaining than whatever Alex can say to me.
Looks like at least you're pretty your company.
I'm going to looking up what the name of their wine is. That's their gold label wine. I don't remember what it was. See if I can find this listing of the
Fine.
of the wines that they make on it. I think it was in the
Marikov, the good stuff.
No,
Mhm.
let's see. The ordinary wine that they have for just ordinary consumption is called Purple Grape Mash Number 3, and it is in a kind of metallicized purple label. And then the one in the gold label is has a what at first you think is a red snake curling around this gold label, and then when you look at it, turn the bottom, you realize it's a dragon, a red dragon, and in very fancy script it says Red Dragon Crush.
Sounds like a special move.
Alex has officially gotten firewater.
This sounds strong. I like the name.
The Red Dragon Crush. Also know what it was empty.
Yeah,
Oh,
sounds like something out of Dragon
Alright,
Ball
so
Z or whatever.
Alex ends
Dragon
up with-
Crush.
Okay, so I got a bottle of Red Dragon Crush. Gonna put that down.
I forgot to mention it when we were leaving the area, DM, but would it have been possible to collect splinters from Wintersplinter that hadn't burnt up?
You would be able to get some pieces of wood, yes. It's
Okay, so I'm
much,
trying-
But there would be some
Yeah.
splinters on some portions that were remaining.
Okay, I was just trying to figure out if I can get some that would have been like arrow shaft quality type pieces.
The wood, like that of the Golfeus tree, is oddly dried. It's almost. Have you ever seen beetle-eaten wood that's got like holes through it? It's the wood is kind of like that. It's more fit for sawdust than it is for anything of construction nature. It would not be very good for an arrow shaft. However, there are plenty of healthy trees in the vicinity if you wish to stop and get
Okay.
with that.
Nah, I was just trying to see if I can weaponize parts of Wintersplinter, but that's okay.
You should definitely have gotten a splinter from Wintersplinter.
Yeah, I've gotten at least some pieces to use as like reagent type nails. So. Okay, that's all I want to.
So you take off back for Vallaki. Are you making any stops along the way? You will cross the bridge again over the river, which as you look south now, Vlad looks south and realizes that is probably the direction that ground voyage is, because his memory just he has this feeling it's that direction. It is south from the bridge. You can see the lake again to the north where you rescued Annabelle, and you also come past that pathway or small roadway, cart roadway, that goes up north just before you get to the lake and bridge, where you can see an odd tower near some kind of water, but it doesn't look like it's part of the lake.
There are not really so much a stop, but as we're making towards the edge of the forest, Derok grabs Isaac's foot that he left back there and starts dragging his body again. Because I remember where I put Isaac's body. I'm still carrying that around with me.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't think I have a note for that. That's how you remember.
You're now carrying whatever remains of your javelins, your original weapon, a large, heavy spear, and a very heavy battle axe.
But no, I'm also carrying Isaac.
Yes, that's my point, and you also are carrying him as well. You're pretty well loaded. Don't. I'm going to require an action
My level.
to
my-
disengage from all of the stuff you were carrying before you get into battle.
Oh yeah. Well, hold on now. Hold on. Level 6. My carrying capacity is doubled. I can now carry. Let me see. What was it?
Weight-wise, you're fine.
Don't argue with the DM.
I mean, I'm still gonna drop Isaac.
Dexterity-wise, it will take you 1 action to get into battle.
Hold on.
Or you could throw Isaac.
Throw Isaac as the initial attack.
Yeah, that's
I go into a rage and I toss Isaac.
Yeah.
Just a style.
Exactly. No deer around, so you can toss Isaac instead.
Best improvised weapon I ever had was another player. Swinging the NPC around.
Especially one that we ended up killing, but yeah.
You know, I have a purpose for Isaac as we get back to Vallaki. That's why I'm still debating around.
Besides making the rest of the party feel like gross and
Well, I mean that's just a perk.
decaying corpse.
That's just a
Decaying
perk.
corpse.
It's only been a day.
In a sweaty forest. Okay.
So, Alex, before they reach the end of the forest, is probably going to take a bathroom break in the bush and say Strahd over and over again. Just not sure if it's working. Fairly certain
Is that the D&D equivalent of sending dick pics?
See, this is what we started. It's perfect. Just, Vallaki. Vallaki was now referred to as taking a Strahd. Having a pistol, taking a Strahd. Just annoy him.
I'm confused as to why he's going behind the bush and then talking about Strahd, and then the bush is also moving. I don't. I mean, Alex, if you swing that way, that is fine. But he is a vampire.
What are you trying to say?
I'm not trying to say anything. Alex is proving it, and I keep walking.
Yeah, so, I meant more like very quietly under my breath.
Well, here.
I'll do it worse.
Yes.
Sylvia's going to look at Victor and go, Victor, what do you mean? The only vampire we know of is Strahd.
Oh, yes, of course.
Now of Strahd just turning to the village and just saying, you know what? If you're not going to take this seriously, I'm done. Get out. Don't leave Barovia. Let's just...
We're going to beat Strahd to death. That's the game.
I'm trying to be a very serious villain here, and I just don't feel you're giving me the respect I deserve.
All the times I've met you, you've ran away, tail tucked between your legs. Of course I don't respect you.
You have to go through unions, man. I would have called today.
And users.
You arrive back at Vallaki then, since you didn't take any side trips. It is getting late afternoon since the trip was... And the guards at the gate greet you quite happily. You notice that their smiles, instead of being forced like they were the first time you arrived, are actually very upbeat, and they seem quite overjoyed to see you. Commander Otis will be so happy to see you.
Durak just keeps walking through, still dragging Isaac, and it looks like he's making his way to the Baron's house.
They look aside as Durak passes, and since there is no head on this corpse,
No, there is.
Isaac
wasn't decapitated.
Okay.
I've kept Isaac whole.
Then their smiles collapse very quickly as he drags Isaac past, and they look at the corpse with like a mixture of somewhat of fear and disgust.
Sylvia's just going to look at the guards and go, guys, it's okay. He made a mistake. He tried to kill us. We had to tell him no. And no very hard to the ground.
We
That
know
was a lot of
right
no
into the
being
ground.
said.
Nope, him right into the ground.
Okay, so where do you plan to head in Vallaki?
Baron's house.
I'm going to go check on Irina.
Very good.
We were supposed to
I guess would Arena be on my way to the Baron's house, because I want to show her that she has no reason to worry about Isaac anymore.
I don't think she needs to see the corpse.
I think she does.
Irina
don't think she's-
and
I'm a half-orc. I think she does.
Irina and Ismark, as you know from your previous time just before you left, have taken up residence in the rather large house right next to the church.
Okay.
Mhm.
So are you going to stop at the house first?
Stop at the house first and show her she has no reason to fear Isaac anymore.
When
Just
you-
waving it around.
I guess not really fear, but like I have to worry. I guess more of the point.
As you come to the house, you notice there are people moving in and out of the house, villagers and so forth. There seems to be activity that is going on with the house that is more than just people visiting. So it seems to be a rather busy hub.
Durak, do you want me to go in first and see what's up before you drag behind
And
this?
Durak doesn't even listen. I'm dragging the body.
Oh god,
boy.
let's go.
Alex
Oh,
is
God.
4 steps behind. Really curious how this is gonna end.
So who's with me anyways? Besides Durak.
Durak, give me
Alex
an
is following
intimidation
anywhere
roll.
Durak goes. He really wants to see the story.
Oh god.
I'd follow anyone really, because I've never been here.
Durak is to give me another one of his famous intimidation rolls.
Oh yes. Let's accidentally crit this as well. Okay, not nearly as bad.
Oh thank god.
thankfully, since the body looks like it's been dead some time and it was of an individual they were not terribly fond of, they kind of pull back, but the men, as you pass, look up and look at Duroc with a certain degree of admiration. The women, most of them, like pull back, except for the women that are soldiers and things. The rest of the women who are just villagers kind of put their hand to their mouth and look in shock, but not in shock at Duroc, in shock at the fact that Isaac has met his demise.
I'm gonna try.
Is it disgusted shock or surprised shock?
Surprise! That is his end, but it is not disgusted. It's more like a, wow, that man's finally gone. And with the men, they look at Duroc with a, wow, that's the man that brought him down.
They are correct.
You liar!
No, I struck the killing blow because
I
Alex
let you
could
have
not.
it. I let you have it.
I still took this killing blow.
Doesn't matter.
I will probably lean to Sylvia at this point.
If they also have good perception, they also realize I have his weapon.
I'm going to regret everything.
I want to see Sylvia at some point, by the way, and I will ask, forgive me for making a sweeping observation here. I'm assuming he wasn't a particularly popular man.
No, he was a jerk. Suppose, well,
He tried to kill us.
Monarch,
Tried to the operative word.
Monarch, do me a favor, keep Duroc from going in the house. Bye. I'm gonna run off ahead.
I'm going into the house.
I am booking it ahead of you.
Did Duroc say operative?
I learned this word from watching Sylvia and the Fancy.
Very good.
Good, it's excellent, actually.
Stop him! I'm just gonna keep him from the house.
I'm still walking.
The
I was
people
this
who
image
were
of now
getting ready-
Duroc at the end of the campaign, like fully dressed like a gentleman, like confronting Strahd. Like, have at me, sir! And then, but when he gets great, just swearing and roaring.
That would work, except the only problem is the tailors don't know how to make a tailored suit in that large a size.
Sure.
There, Sylvia dashes into the door, and as she does, she kind of has to elbow aside some of these women that are, and people that are coming and going. She steps in first into a scene that looks like an infirmary, and she can see Irina moving among some people who are, there's not a lot of people, there's probably only about 6 people on some beds and stretchers and various things, but Irina is caring for them, along with several women who are wearing like little white knit or net caps that look like they are trying to emulate some kind of uniform, and they are caring for these people inside the house. And the women who are at the door, who are just regular villagers, look like they're bringing food in and so forth. They, as they see Duroc coming up the steps, there's like this thunk, 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 thunk as he goes up the steps. His head, it thunks against the stairs as he pulls him up by the foot and heads in the door. And they vacate the doorway to allow you to go in.
I'm going to still try to.
Yeah, Irina looks up at Lynn and she smiles broadly when she sees
You mean Sylvia?
It's Sylvia, yes.
Sylvia. Sorry. No, when I hear the thunk thunk, I'm going to continue to book it and apologize profusely to every person I run past, nearly knock over and practically trip over. To grab Irina and go, you have to tell me right now, I need to tell you before you walk to the door.
And I walk through the door. No, I'm leaving.
Irina
I'll be
looks
back.
at you and smiles and says, I am so glad to see you back. It's all well.
Don't tell me.
What is the matter? I have patients to take care of.
This will take 2 seconds, I swear to God. It's just trust me, just tell me simply. And I'm just trying to usher her out into a different part of the room so she doesn't immediately see her out.
She follows you into a
Wait, why are you taking it away from me? I'm gonna just go and traumatize more people as you continue to keep her away from me.
I'm going to say one person from being traumatized, and you traumatize everyone else. You're welcome.
How do you know she's not gonna be traumatized? She wants Isaac's dead.
Duroc, while they are in another room discussing what is coming, I want Duroc to give me just one more intimidation roll for the patients.
Alright, that's good.
Somebody's old grandfather dies of a heart attack.
They're either asleep or apparently unconscious. They don't do much stirring. One person hears the noise and kind of
Okay. Well, also keep in mind this, just as a reminder for back then, when you guys were having the conversation about Isaac and Arena, I was doing this stuff with the puppet, so I heard kind of.
Oh yeah, that's right. You
So
don't
I
know.
don't know what. I don't know that she doesn't like him.
That's right.
Yeah, you're
I
welcome.
thought you were. Okay, never mind. You're in character then.
Yeah. So
I'm yelling, Arena! Arena!
oh God.
And it's Mark. Here's Mark! Here's Mark!
Vlad is next to him, looking disturbed. Does he see his mark?
If I can have a moment.
Yes. I just standing next to Deer with his arms crossed.
So in fact, I finished. Okay, I've heard somewhat of what the other group told me about you and
Isaac.
Isaac. Yeah. Well, we took along with us to try and find out and figure out what was going on with him, you and that whole other thing like that. And well, we decided to try and kill one of us and we killing him, and now Dark wants to trade the body. So yeah, that. Sorry, I didn't know this was a makeshift hospital until I walked into the door. I would have tried to convince him not to do it. Okay, well, that's rough. I tried to convince him for well.
So, I'm just gonna state the comedy bit. Alex is following behind with the rock, and no, out of his eyesight, kind of like pointing to himself, pointing to his weapon, pointing to the corpse. Kind of, subtly pantomime and taking credit for the murder.
It was a murder.
Well, I mean, it felt like a murder to him.
It was self-defense. He should have attacked us. The other PCs, he should not have been so foolish as to attack us.
We the entire fight. He basically couldn't fight back.
And started a fight.
Old person's a very powerful spell.
You're welcome.
You shouldn't.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. You can tell the tales and put whatever emphasis you want. You're the bard. But yeah, as the barbarian half-orc is walking through the building, looking up early and dragging the thing, Alex is just behind her, painting, it was me. Taking credit. It's been long enough that he no longer feels bad about murdering a defenseless person.
I wanna, on the roll perception, do I hear him say that with a 7?
He's pretty stealthy, dude.
No, you do not hear him say it with a 7. However, Irina hears Durok's voice, and she brightens up and says, "Oh, the rest of you have come back too. Let me go welcome."
Did I get a chance to? Did she hear anything when I said explanation-wise? Like, I just told her straight up, like, this is what's going on outside. I didn't know this was a makeshift hospital, so hi.
Oh yeah, you ran up ahead, so you also missed everyone in the cheering that I killed him.
Yeah. I don't care.
Very good. Hold on, I'm getting a message on OBS that may be the cause of what we're having a problem on. Give me 1 second here.
Fair. They might not believe that Alex did this, and in fact, there's a pretty good chance they don't.
Well, what's the
I want to see a persuasion roll.
Oh yeah, I'll roll a...
You know what the sad part is, though? If I had been there and I had to deception and persuasion crowd, y'all would have both lost. Let's throw this hands down.
Nope, I have his weapon, and I have the body.
Which
I think it's fair that no one believes you. Just DM roll that.
I'm just rolling to see what the numbers would have been, but... Yeah, no, I would have just outlined both of you. It's just so hard killed it.
Actually, let's see if we can bluff. I'm just having fun with this while we're waiting, because we didn't know that. Deception.
So I would have rolled a 10 on the persuasion to get that funny, because I have a 10 in persuasion. So y'all is screwed.
Oh yeah, no, the bard's obviously before convincing us and can convince anyone whatever they want.
Just think like, yeah. Sorry.
Irina kind of looks back at Sylvia as Sylvia says this, and she says, he's bringing what?
Of course, we killed Isaac because he tried to attack and kill one of us. He didn't really give us much of a choice, and I heard that you were related, and I didn't want you just to get surprised. There's a corpse being dragged behind the barbarian. So yeah, that's what's going on outside.
No, we definitely just killed him without any weird inhumane shit. It was very on up and up.
The door. She looks back at Sylvia again, and she goes, "Isaac is dead?"
As a tunnel.
And a smile spreads across her face, and she says, "At last, I am free of him. Thank you very much."
Oh, good. Okay, so this is good. Thank God. I was worried that you were actually going to be upset. Okay, have fun seeing you. Bye. And she walks out.
I'd probably be like going to ignore them, and then look at them as they walk up the door. Irina!
Better hug you, bye. I'm sorry.
I kind of pull the body a little closer so that you can see that the Isaac's face. You have no need to worry of this man anymore. Irok killed him for his treachery.
And she comes out and she looks at Isaac, and she just claps her hands in joy, just so happy that
As I walk past Vlad, I'm just gonna go, you know, I'm letting him have this one. In truth, I was the one who softened him up, and she passed on, so keep going.
I saw.
Yeah.
Vlad will walk up to Irina and say, Vlad will walk up to Irina, take a short bow and say, in truth, you never need to have worried about what he would have done.
Vlad is right. If he had done anything, Irok would have ended his life then and there.
It is the entire reason that we took him from the tunnel in the first place. Either, one, we would have showed him what really happened, or two, and this is what did come to pass, he would attack one of us and try to leave, in which case he died.
He died for his troubles.
It is an end to a horrible person. I am sure the village will be very happy to know they no longer need to worry that he will harm one of their loved ones. I must tell Ismark immediately.
Tell Ismark that there is nothing to worry about, and that all of us are safe as well.
And with that, Irina excuses herself and goes upstairs, leaving you downstairs with this hospital setup. We will be ending here, so finish your conversation.
I was just gonna say Vlad watches her go with sorrow in his eyes.
Oh.
Irok gave a salute, grabs the foot again, and he's just gonna start walking down the stairs outside the hospital. It's got one more stop, and obviously we'll be doing that next week.
Very good.
Oh, yeah.
So you have
I'll
bring us
Irina
back.
at this point, and you are regrouped in the street for next week. And you will be journeying next to the Vallaki house.
The Baron's house.
The Baron's house, right.
But
The Rock is.
by this time, it's probably pushing close to dusk, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so we're probably going to grab Sylvia's puppet, stay the night in the Vallaki house, or the Dawnwatch house. It's the Dawnwatch house now.
Yes.
See, I was going to see what Apodas has done with the girl, I don't remember her name, and
Crazy
so I'm gonna ask, yes, Crazy Cat. You want to ask Apple that sometime this week, so you have that prepped. So you can have him in as an NPC. And then I at least was planning on going to Bone Grinder and taking care of the hack problem.
All right, I don't know if Otis can show up as a guest star or not, since there are twins in the mix, but I will get his take on exactly what you want to ask him.
I want to just have a basic report of what kind of protocols he's started in the town and what he did with. There was one Doctor son still alive, right?
Yes.
One, yes.
Because I was going to ask what he has done with the last Doctor son and the crazy guy, which I believe we imprisoned the son.
No,
He's
he's in the stocks.
He left him in the
Same
stocks.
difference. Yes, he is arrested.
And I think Kelly is still being helped by one of the servants of Octor House.
Yeah, we let her stay in her room, but she's being cared for. Like, we're not gonna take away her care just because she happens to be related to them. Like,
Right.
she seems just as much as a victim as anyone else in the town.
So I was in total. I don't make you a list of this later, but I'll just write you a list.
Very good. Well, with that,
And
we
then-
will end it here. And we will say goodnight to our viewers. Sorry for those who can hear this about the problems. I've been trying to swap from OBS Studio to the other OBS, Big OBS, which does not use as much memory, and it may help recording in the future. In the meantime, you can see this on YouTube and watch the portion that you were not able to catch on the interruptions that we had tonight. So we will not be here next week because it is Mother's Day, and we are all going to be handling things for mothers or the people that are near and dear to us that take that role. We hope to see you here.
Alright.
Later.
Okay.
See you there? Alright, cool. So basically the idea is get Puppet, do final checks, supplies maybe, and then we go on our regular trend, like the Inquisition.
I actually haven't really been paying super close attention to this. What's our situation with the entire party's goal? Because I have